Welcome to Jets Talk. My name's Ryan. I'll be your pilot. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. Boys and girls, we're talking a little DeAndre Hopkins. Could the New York Jets make a move for the star wide receiver? This coming from Albert Breer. Now let's jump into it. He says, Chris, I'd say yes conditionally. That is, I think the Jets are going to do everything they can to go all in around Aaron Rodgers the way, say, the Buccaneers went all in around Tom Brady over the past 3 years, but they'll try to do it with some intelligent restraint like Tampa did. The Odell Beckham Jr. case is a good one with which to illustrate that. The Jets were absolutely in on OBJ. They just weren't in on him at $15 million for a single year. DeAndre Hopkins is due $15.09 million in cash this year and $19.45 million in cash next year. He's 5 months older than Beckham, and he, like Beckham, has a lot of miles on his legs, a significant injury history, and it's been a few years since he played a full season. So I get why they'd balk at paying Beckham $15 million for a year, and that's exactly where Hopkins' price tag is for 2022. Now, that's a typo. That should read 2023. And I'll get into the numbers. I don't know if that's actually accurate with the numbers up there. So this has me all sorts of kind of squirrely. So that said, at some point, if you get to a suitable price point, and if you're pursuing a guy who can draw coverage open for Garrett Wilson, Allen Lazard, Corey Davis, Breece Hall, and the rest of them, then it's worth taking the swing. If so, the Jets can get Hopkins to if the Jets can get Hopkins to work with them on money, I could certainly see this happening. So I don't get the feeling that this is really a super knowledgeable inside scoop by any sort of the imagination. I think a lot of fans, as far as the receiver position is concerned, we saw Odell Beckham Jr. go to the Baltimore Ravens, and everyone around the New York Jets is probably thinking, oh, well, the next domino to fall could be DeAndre Hopkins. Could the Jets have interest in DeAndre Hopkins? And I think the answer is, yeah, look, the Jets are going to be interested in DeAndre Hopkins. It's just a matter of what the price is actually going to be. So right now, he is currently under contract with the Arizona Cardinals. The thought was that they could release him in the coming weeks. Who knows if that's before or after the draft or how things kind of shake out. As far as his current contract goes, now here's where I'm a little confused where he got his numbers from. So this is his current contract. To determine how much he would actually be paid by the team that trades for him, you have to drop this prorated bonus. That's his signing bonus. That does not transfer to his new team. So his cap hits are going to be whatever this number is, and whatever that guaranteed salary number is going to be over there. And since it's got zero for both 2023 and 2024, that means he has no guaranteed money on his deal. That means his cap hits are going to be $19.45 million for 2023 and $15 million, just under, for 2024. He'll be 31 and 32 years old at that point. Now, for me, that number is too high. For me, I like Odell. The injury concern is absolutely a huge issue when you were discussing him. And if you were to put Odell at $15 million and DeAndre Hopkins at $15 million, I'm going to take DeAndre Hopkins every time. But it's that $15 million number that kind of scares me off. And it's, a little bit of that injury guarantee as well. So as far as injury history, just look at what Odell's injury history was. And let's look at DeAndre Hopkins. These two guys virtually look like the same injured wide receiver. And now there's different grades on what things happen and torn ACLs and whatnot and suspensions from Hopkins that caused him to miss games and for, PEDs or something along those lines. So statistic-wise, I love the look of getting DeAndre Hopkins paired up with this entire offense because that is a scary arsenal of weapons. And I would say in a vacuum, I'm 100% in on DeAndre Hopkins. I am not trading for DeAndre Hopkins, though, because for me, the contract is already bad enough. And to give up an asset when you already are kind of rich at the wide receiver position, for me, I still really like the idea of running it back with Corey Davis or giving him some sort of extension, rework of contract where we keep him for the next 2 years, maybe at a lower salary cap hit than he's currently slated to make this year, but give him some more guaranteed money. I love the idea of keeping Davis around because you have someone in the locker room that the players already understand. There's a little bit of equity built up in Corey Davis right now with his teammates. Aaron Rodgers. The Packers wanted to trade for Corey Davis. Clearly, there's some level of want for Aaron Rodgers to play alongside Corey Davis. Now, Corey Davis and DeAndre Hopkins, two drastically different wide receivers in terms of what they bring to the field. I shouldn't say what they bring to the field, but how good DeAndre Hopkins has been, and maybe how, I don't know the term for Corey Davis. Slightly disappointing. I guess we could say disappointing. I like Corey Davis. It's the health. It's some of the drop balls, but he hasn't had a quarterback. Now, DeAndre Hopkins coming over here, no matter who you get at wide receiver, is going to get significantly better quarterback play than they've seen in a very long time. Last year, DeAndre Hopkins, he did have Kyler Murray for a little bit, but then he had, Colt McCoy, and I don't even know who their other quarterback is. I should know this off the top of my head. I don't. I like Hopkins. I would love to have Hopkins, but again, this is sort of the same thing as Odell. I want Hopkins at our price. If he wants to come in and win a ring and say, okay, look, I'm all in. I'll take a little bit less to facilitate a winning season. I've been stuck in Houston. I've been stuck in Arizona my whole career. Let's go win a ring right now. This is the type of player that I think might be able to take a little bit less because he's made so much over the course of his career. Just, is he going to do it? And what is it going to take? Because I don't want to trade anything for him. Like, even that contract, it would probably wind up being like a late round pick. But what's the alternative? There's rumors that maybe DeAndre Hopkins would want to go team up with Bill O'Brien in New England, which feels weird because Bill O'Brien was the one that traded him to Arizona. So, I don't understand how that could possibly make any sort of sense. I don't know. I would say I'm in on Hopkins pending what his contract demands would be, but I think it is also one of those situations where this is a very big luxury, and I don't know if I want to overextend on the contractual side of this type of deal. So guys, let me know. Are you in on DeAndre Hopkins? Do you want him as a New York Jet? Do you want to trade for him with his current contract? Do you want to try and get him at a lower price? What would that price be if you wanted the Jets to go after him? Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, go Jets.